Dispatch. We've already had 3 calls from that number. Officer Randall Hayes snapped, snatching the radio from his desk. Teenager says there's a crash on the East Highway. No injuries confirmed. His partner responded calmly. Protocol says we still... I said he's probably lying. Hayes barked. Kids like that exaggerate everything. I'm not wasting a unit on every scared voice that calls in. Across the small precinct, the room fell silent. The dispatcher, a soft-spoken woman named Clara, stared at him in disbelief. Randall. The caller said someone's trapped. He sounds terrified. Hayes waved her off with a sharp flick of his wrist. Not my problem, if he can't handle a little fender bender. But Clara swallowed hard. Sir, he said he was dying. Hayes rolled his eyes. And that's what they always say. What he didn't know, what he had no idea about, was that the teen inside that wrecked car was sitting beside his own son. And they were both bleeding out. Hello, everyone. Before we begin today's video, we want to thank you for your support, love, and kindness. We wouldn't have come this far without you. Subscribing is one of the best ways you can help us. It's quick, free, and allows us to continue to bring you great content. Your support means everything. Let's keep this channel growing collectively. Where are you watching from? Drop your city and country in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's get back to the story. The rainstorm had been unpredictable. Sheets of water battering the highway, winds twisting branches like frail arms. Jordan and Ethan sat in Ethan's blue sedan, laughing over some song they shared. Your dad's gonna kill you for being out so late, Jordan teased. Ethan grinned. Not like he cares where I go. He probably thinks I'm studying the Bible at youth group. Jordan laughed, shaking his head. You're a mess. Then the headlights appeared. Too fast. Too close. A truck skidded across the slick road, fishtailed, and slammed into their car. Metal screamed. Glass exploded. The world flipped. Silence. Then pain. Jordan felt something warm running down his neck. Blood. But ignored it when he heard Ethan's trembling voice. Jordan, I can't move my leg. Jordan swallowed the panic in his throat. It's okay. I got you. I'll call for help. He dialed 911 with shaking fingers. The first call. 911, what's your emergency? Jordan's voice cracked. And my friend, he's hurt. We're trapped. Please, we're on Highway 9 near the old sawmill. Please hurry. Clara typed rapidly. Are you safe? Is he conscious? Yes, but he's losing a lot of blood. Please send someone. She stood to alert the nearest unit. But Hayes saw the call Idaho and snarled. That's the Miles kid. The one people say causes trouble. Don't waste my time. Clara froze, but he said someone's bleeding. Hayes stepped closer, towering over her. Let me make something clear. He's not a priority. He'll live. He walked away, while her husband dismissed a dying boy. Lydia Hayes sat home, staring out the window, troubled. Her intuition was clawing at her ribs. She called him. Randall? Something feels wrong. Have you heard from Ethan? He should have been home by now. Randall scoffed. He's fine. Probably with that Jordan kid again. Lydia sighed heavily. You judge that boy so harshly. You never even gave him a chance. Randall bristled. I don't need a chance to know trouble when I see it. Lydia lowered her voice. Not everything is about race. Don't start this again. Randall, one day, your prejudice is going to hurt the wrong person. He hung up. Lydia stared at the screen, wishing she hadn't been right. Jordan tried again, his voice weaker. Please, we need help. I think Ethan's passing out. Please? Clara looked at her supervisor helplessly. Please, Randall. Someone's dying. His answer was a cold shrug. Good. Maybe they'll stop prank calling then. Clara turned pale. That was the moment she realized this wasn't negligence. It was choice. Jordan's voice was barely audible now. Please, anyone, we're trapped. Please don't let us die. Clara couldn't take it anymore. She whispered into the radio. Hold on. I'm sending someone. But before she could dispatch a unit, Randall grabbed the speaker from her hand and shut the line. Then he said the sentence he could never undo. Let them wait. There's no rush. They'll survive. But they wouldn't. because help would arrive 47 minutes late, and every single second of that delay was a death sentence. Lydia kept trying to call Ethan. No answer. She dialed again and again. Something in her chest tightened until she could barely breathe. She checked his location. Her heart stopped. He was on Highway 9, the same location Jordan had called from. She whispered, "No, no, please God." She grabbed her keys and bolted out of the house. Ethan's breaths were ragged. He looked at Jordan with wide, terrified eyes. Is help coming? Jordan forced a smile he didn't feel. Yeah, any minute now. But Ethan could hear the fear in his friend's voice. "Jordan, I don't feel good." Jordan shook violently. "Stay awake. Bro, don't close your eyes." Thunder cracked overhead. Ethan whispered, "Tell my mom I love her." "No." Jordan choked out, gripping his hand. "You tell her yourself. Just hold on." But Ethan didn't answer. Jordan screamed his name. Rain drowned out the sound. 47 minutes after the crash, a different patrol unit found the car. The truck driver had also called 911. The officers froze when they saw 2 teens, unconscious, bleeding, one barely breathing. One officer whispered, horrified, "That's Ethan Hayes." The other looked sick, "And that's Jordan Miles." They radioed in. Clara answered, voice shaking. Is anyone alive?" "Barely. Get EMS here now." When Randall Hayes arrived at the scene he first saw, flashing red lights, paramedics running, a stretcher, a teenage arm hanging off the side. He ran forward, shouting, "Who is that? Who is that?" The paramedic looked at him, expression pained. "It's your son, Officer Hayes." Randall's blood turned to ice. He collapsed to his knees. Then he heard the words that shattered his soul. "The boy who called for help, the one you ignored. He was trapped right next to your son." Randall's mouth fell open. What boy?" "Jordan Miles." Clara arrived behind him, trembling. Her voice broke. "Randall, they were together. He wasn't lying. He wasn't exaggerating. He wasn't trying to trick you." She covered her mouth. "He was trying to save your son." Randall felt his world collapsing on itself. But karma wasn't done yet, because Ethan was still alive, but fading fast. And Jordan was already gone. Paramedics worked desperately around Ethan Hayes. His pulse was faint, his breath shallow, but he was still alive. Barely. Randall stood frozen, drenched in rain and disbelief, staring at the twisted metal that had nearly become his son's tomb. But when the fire captain approached him, the truth hit with a force greater than any crash. "Officer Hayes," the captain said quietly, "the surviving boy, your son, he was conscious long enough to speak 2 sentences." Randall looked up, red-eyed, breath shaking. What did he say?" The captain swallowed. He said, "Jordan kept calling for help. He saved me. Please don't let him die alone." The words shattered something inside Randall. His son, his gentle, forgiving son, had used his last conscious moments to honor the boy Randall had spent years quietly disrespecting. Not only had Jordan not been lying, not only had he not been exaggerating, he had been trying to save Ethan's life, while Ethan was trying to save his. And Randall's choice, his racism, his impatience, his refusal to listen, had cost one boy's life and nearly taken the other. Rain mixed with the tears on his face. But the truth was not finished with him yet. The crash report became public within hours. But what made the town erupt wasn't the accident. It was the 911 call log released by the dispatcher's supervisor. Call number 1, 16-year-old male begging for help. Call number 2, same teen reporting friend bleeding heavily. Call number 3, teen whispering, "Please don't let us die." Response time delayed 47 minutes. Officer responsible for dismissing all 3 calls, Randall Hayes. The moment Jordan's mother saw that log, she dropped to her knees. Her only son had begged for help, and someone chose not to give it. Protesters filled the police department parking lot by morning. The chief had no choice but to place Randall on immediate suspension. But by then, the damage was irreparable, because the entire city had learned the truth. Jordan Miles died 31 minutes before help arrived. Ethan Hayes survived, but barely. Both boys could have lived if Randall had listened. The next evening, a community meeting was held at the Civic Center. Randall Hayes walked in wearing a plain shirt, not his uniform. The chief wouldn't allow him to wear it anymore. As soon as he stepped inside, hundreds of eyes turned toward him. Some were furious, some were disgusted, some were heartbroken, but none were kind. Lydia stood near the front, eyes swollen from crying, clutching Ethan's jacket to her chest. The mayor asked Randall to speak. He tried, but his voice cracked on the first word. I failed. Members of the crowd erupted. Failed. He begged for help. My son could have been next. You ignored a child. You let a boy die. Randall covered his face, shaking. Then Jordan's mother stepped forward. She wasn't yelling. She wasn't shaking. She wasn't even crying anymore. She simply said one sentence. My son saved yours, and you didn't think he was worth saving. The room went silent. Randall collapsed into a chair, sobbing uncontrollably. Lydia turned away from him, unable to even look, because sometimes karma isn't loud. Sometimes karma is a whisper that becomes a mirror. And Randall Hayes finally saw himself. That night, Ethan finally regained consciousness. He found his mother holding his hand and his father sitting in a corner, looking like a man carved out of regret. When Ethan asked for Jordan, Lydia broke down. Randall buried his face in his palms. And Ethan realized the truth. The system didn't fail his friend. One man did, his own father. Ethan turned his face away from him. I trusted you, he whispered. You were supposed to help people. Randall reached for him. Ethan moved his hand. And Randall felt a new kind of pain, the kind you cannot recover from. Jordan's funeral came 3 days later. The line of mourners stretched around the block. Ethan attended in a wheelchair, insisting he would not miss it. He placed a small engine part, a gift Jordan once gave him, on his friend's casket. Randall approached next. Every person there went silent when they saw him. He knelt beside the casket and whispered, I heard your calls too late, but I hear you now, and I will never stop hearing you. But for Jordan, the apology came too late. Karma had delivered its verdict. In the weeks that followed, the small town changed in ways no one expected. Ethan Hayes, still recovering, spoke publicly about Jordan's courage. He told schools, churches, and community groups how his friend fought for both their lives, even as his own slipped away. Lydia Hayes joined advocacy groups, pushing for emergency response reforms, determined to prevent another tragedy born from bias or doubt. As for Officer Randall Hayes, he resigned from the force before the department could remove him. He spent his days volunteering at youth centers, quietly listening to the stories of kids he once judged from a distance. He never asked for forgiveness. He only tried to earn the right to stand in the same spaces his son's friend once walked. And across the town, Jordan Miles' name became a symbol of compassion, courage, and the cost of prejudice. His legacy lived in the programs created in his honor. The policy changes passed because of him, and the countless hearts softened by the truth of his final moments. The tragedy did not fade quickly. It settled into community like a permanent marker, an unerasable reminder that ignoring a cry for help can echo far beyond a single night, because the world learned something weighty. When fear, bias, and indifference overpower duty, innocent lives are lost. But when truth rises, it demands accountability, not to punish, but to change those who survive. Prejudice is not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, hidden behind assumptions, excuses, or hesitation. But its consequences are real, lasting, and devastating. Every person deserves to be heard, believed, and valued, no matter their skin color, background, or circumstance. The duty to help others is sacred, and a single moment of ignoring that duty can alter lives forever. Stand for what is right, even when it challenges comfort or tradition. Listen when people speak, especially when they speak in fear. And remember, compassion saves lives, silence can destroy them, and truth, sooner or later, always reveals a heart.